Okay, let's try this again, shall we? Welcome back to another coding stream, or portion of the stream, I should say. I'm your host, Strange Bro Jim, and today we're going to continue where we left off last time. For those of you that don't really know, I've been trying to work on getting um, the um, SQL developer set up to handle connecting to the WordPress web page so that I can access the information on the WordPress web page and make the necessary values on the database to be able to store the information concerning um, the those two roles that I mentioned prior for the web page. Hold on. Let me check. Let me see. Yeah. Okay. Let me go and transition over to that one there. Um, so I'm still working on getting the database set up so that it can handle the giver and what the table set up for all the receivers that will come on in. So obviously, when um, I need to set it up so that, not only do they have the login, but they have the sign up. So, um, so obviously, if they select, you know, the giver sign up, there's not going to be that much to the sign up for the most part. You know, there'll be obviously, the information, the sign up details. Again, I don't know if I'm going to be needing all of this. Um, you know, it might be necessary for tax information. I should probably just go ahead and put it down anyway, just in case. Um, being trying to go for a nonprofit, I might need to do all this. But again, I'm not sure. And obviously, I need to be very careful with this too, because if this was to kind of get out, um, I want to make sure that I protect, you know, everybody that, signs into this particular web page. I'm not going to say that I'm going to be, having the, best security ever, because hey, it's just myself. And I'm going to be going, if I'm going to be doing this, I'm basically going to be putting myself up against some of the best hackers that are in the world, trying to safeguard everybody. And sorry, I'm not that smart. um, but, we'll see what we can do on that. Okay. And then, of course, the receivers, not only do they have, just the, simple information for them, because again, I don't necessarily want them to dox themselves either because, um, when a giver has search functions and like, you know, um, I'll show some information, but obviously not like not all the information or anything along those lines. Okay, I don't want to, you know, I don't want to give like the giver the, the receiver's, you know, home address or anything along those lines. Okay, and vice versa. The receiver shouldn't see, the giver's, personal information or anything along those lines either, right? Maybe a name, but that's like about it. You know. Um, but I mean, for the most part, the people that are signing up for the receivers, they're really not going to be seeing, um, you know, they're only going to be seeing who, um, they're only going to be seeing like, whether or not someone actually donated on like the GoFundMe or anything along those lines on those particular channels or on those particular websites, right? So, uh, um, so yeah, that's you know, um, so there's really no necessity to show the receiver like any giver information and vice versa. Well, I mean, the giver will see, some information, obviously, because the receiver will be having, various things that they might want to get some help with. Um, but yeah, you so, you know, I need to figure out a way to link or, to make the connection to the WordPress. So, how to connect or how to make a connection with WordPress using SQL Developer. Let's see. WordPress developers database access. You can use PHP admin to access your website's database and run a wide range of operations. This guide will show you how to administer site's MySQL database. Okay. Well, that didn't really help out. Um, um, hmm. Okay, that doesn't seem like it's the right kind of connection. Um, no, I don't necessarily need to worry about it. The tutorials and guides really didn't help me out on here. Um, let's see. Um, um, let's see. I mean, ideally that would be probably the best way of going about doing it, but I don't even know if I have that available to me, and that seems like it's quite extensive to do a production or staging site. So, okay, don't think that really helped out very much. Um, hmm, yeah, it's not too surprising on that. The one I'm hmm. I see all these questions saying, how do I connect, the MySQL database to WordPress? It's like WordPress already has the MySQL database. What I'm trying to do is connect to the MySQL database, you know, with the um, SQL developer. How do I make that connection? Because obviously the WordPress, MySQL database is, you know, kind of ready to go. I mean, has um, the tables for giver and receiver. I just need to get access to it so that I can kind of modify it a little bit. But um, maybe these web pages are um, still kind of helpful, even though um, Hmm. I think this is part of a plugin that they are using, but I mean, I don't necessarily want to. That's I don't care about using a plugin. Um, I'm trying to make sure that I can get to. Let's see. Yeah. Right. Mhm. Yeah, obviously. Hmm. That's not really helping me out too much, though. Comments, posts, options, and it's not really helping me out on that one. Um, care about these. Add, go away. Okay. This is not the same. They're basically saying, create a web page, using Oracle, and then, you know, um, yeah, it's not. There are times where it's like, um, I'm looking for a very specific nuance, and it frustrates me sometimes because like there are times where I feel like it should be common knowledge on how to actually go about doing what I'm thinking about doing, but like there's no information out there, it feels like, to attempt this, and it's weird because um I'm like, how do I access it? Um, oh yeah, it should be part of. All right. Oh wait, no. Okay, I don't have that on there. Let's see. Let's try to log in here real quick. Don't need that. Okay. Okay, so we're in the hosting area. for the website. So, um, I mean, I can go to settings and I can see the PHP my admin, right? But I want to see if there's a way for me to kind of access the um, the PHP my admin information through the SQL developer. So how do I go about doing that? And so far, I've not been able to. How do I see PHP my admin through SQL Developer? Yeah, I've already done those. Okay. There's a blog. Um, um, right. Fine. All that. Action, right. That's fine. Um, Set up a connection, right. Um, let's see. Okay, hold on. A pop-up. See. To host name port. check this real quick. Yeah, so they do have upgrades for. That is a large some money right there. Hmm, okay, let's see. they already have the PHP MyAdmin in there. Let's see, documents. Let's see. Oh boy. It's the problem with, when you're. I'm trying to do, obviously, I'm trying to do something that isn't normal. I get that. Especially for like a blogging site, you know. Um, it just might be the fact that, like, I might be just unable to do it like completely. I don't really know, but I mean, I'm gonna give it a try anyway. I want to try to do what I can to, um, you know, let's see. That. Hmm. Let's see. I don't think this is giving me what I'm. here. Hmm. I don't know if I have this or not. Do I have access to this or? I mean, it doesn't say. Features are. Hmm. Okay. No, thank you. Sure. All the extra things that you can get on the site. So, I don't know if they're gonna give me access to this or not. it's under the staging. Don't think that's what I was wanting for. I swear, I feel like the their tutorials aren't giving me everything that I need. It's like, hey, we're going to make these extra confusing, so you're just going to kind of flounder around trying to find this information that we're saying that you can have access to, but you might not actually have that. So, um, hmm, let's see. Hmm. Let's see, hold on. Let me just do. Um, no, no, that's not the right. Okay, you know what? I don't know. They keep on. I I see nothing where I can connect SQL developer with the PHP MyAdmin. Like I don't see any information there, and it's like, ah, god damn it. Why is this so difficult? And it could just be like, they really don't give me, and like they could be like, hey, we're not going to give you this kind of information because we don't want people screwing up or something like that. Which I mean, you know, that could be the case, but like um hmm, their knowledge base isn't helping me. Um, hmm, okay. Oh, here we go. This hosting, cPanel, going down to databases. We're doing remote SQL. Okay. Under the add access host at the top of the page, enter the IP address inside the host info box. You may enter a fully qualified domain name or IP address. You may enter to allow access from all IP addresses to begin. Command following comment. No, wait. This looks like it's a. This seems like it's one where you already have like a MySQL database outside of the web page. Yeah, this isn't what I'm looking for. see. Remote database connection permits hosted on your account to be accessed by servers located remotely. Yeah, but I don't want other servers to access my databases. I just want my software to access. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Connection port, yeah. Okay. Um, name. Let's see. I might need to just. That's not really gonna work. I don't want that one. Don't need that. Don't need that. Don't need that. Don't need that. Um. Let's see. Okay. So. Hmm. So now. Uh-huh. Okay. So that didn't. Just did a test and I can't do that. Hmm. So I'm not quite sure why I cannot for this one time. See, that's why I'm like, I don't know what the host name and port, I'm seeing like the port number here, which is apparently common, you know, for a MySQL connection port. Matter of fact, it was like automatically set in the MySQL port section anyway. It's just I'm not quite sure about the IP address that it's asking me to do. So that's why I'm like, what, um, you know, how do I connect to it right at this one time? Um, hmm, uh, um, I mean, not quite sure if I need SSH for this moment in time. Maybe I do. But that's something else entirely. I figure, unless I'm using SSH to connect anyway. I mean, yeah, that failed. Okay. Hmm. Okay, you know what? I'm I'm about ready to just kind of give up on my attempts to try to connect to the database using SQL Developer. Like, I don't see what host name I can use. So um, oh, maybe that's a way of going about doing it. Like, you know, they keep on saying like, my host name should remain as localhost, right? And it's like, okay, but that doesn't make that much sense because, you know, the database itself, um, isn't local, isn't anywhere in this house, right? So I'm like going, that doesn't really make that much sense to me. So maybe, well, how is it going to be? How is SQL Developer going to be able to see Bluehost saying, "Hey, remote MySQL"? Like, how's that connection going to happen there? Like, the SQL database or the SQL Developer, I'm not providing the address to the Bluehost right at this moment in time. And while sure I can say like the Bluehost, sure you can like put in the IP address that I have here where I live, how how are they still going to be able to see each other? That's why I'm like, you know, it's why I've never really got into networking very well. Maybe that's my mistake. Maybe I need to try to learn more about networking and stuff like that. So, let's see. Because they're saying log into cPanel. It's like, okay, logging into cPanel. Sure. Here we are. You know, cPanel logged into, right? And they say go down to remote MySQL to go here. And it's like, okay. Now, type in the connecting IP address under host and click the add host button. You should now be able to connect remotely to your database. And it's like, okay, but my my IP address might, is, potentially going to be kind of changing. So, saying that I use you know, a satellite, so it's not going to be like the full IP address. So, am I going to be needing to use my router, like my main router's IP address, to put it into the host so that I can try to access it through that way? And if so, like, again, it's one of those things where it's like, where is the communication gonna happen? Like, how does my doing the local host connect to my Bluehost connection? Hmm. Maybe I'm overthinking it. Um, right, here we are. Localhost is an alias meaning this machine, aka the loopback IP address, blah, blah, blah. That obviously means different things in different contexts. My this machine is not the same as your this machine. So from the perspective of both PHP, my admin, and your existing website, the database is at localhost because the MySQL instance is literally on the same machine. And that's what's going on. But from the perspective of your Node app, I mean, obviously that's not mine, but still, the database is on a different machine, which I'm here on my computer, so yes, it's on a different machine. There's a whole internet between those two things, which there is. Localhost obviously won't work. There is no database running on a local machine. Exactly. Now, in theory, you could connect to the database using either the public IP address or host name, domain name of the server that the MySQL database sits on, In practice, that database is not going to be exposed to the internet because that would be very bad security practice. It's going to be behind a firewall or NAT. MySQL also needs to be configured to allow remote connections. A web host provides you a database so your web app on the same machine can use it, not so some app hosted elsewhere can use it, so the server will not be configured to allow this. Okay, so that's probably what's going on then. Yeah. So it looks as though I'm not gonna have any possibilities of connecting, you know, um, it just doesn't look like there's any way for me to connect, you know, my SQL developer with the hosting site because obviously, I mean, I get it, you know, as as they stated, it's a risk, right? To try to access the database, or having it open, you know, to be accessed by the internet. Um, the only downside of that though is the fact that if I was to ever want if I ever want to um, um, modify it or something like that, like you know I wouldn't necessarily know how to pull that information out of there, but I don't know. Maybe that's something to worry about, you know, at a later date if I need to go about doing that. So, okay. Well, I think I'll just go ahead and close on down. We'll just my idea of trying to use the PHP my admin you know here on the local machine isn't gonna happen. So I'll have to figure out how to use, you know, the PHP myadmin on its own to generate the necessary information that I'm looking for and all that. So, okay, well, I'm just going to go ahead and close on down this video. No chatters today on this particular video. But if anybody was just kind of lurking and going, "What the hell are you doing there, Jim?" Then thank you for being here anyway. Appreciate it. Now, um, yeah. Well, I mean, it's it's weird because I mean, on one hand, I've done this before, okay, where I've been able to access, you know, database servers using, you know, a SQL developer. Obviously, there was, some need of, establishing that connection like that, but I have done it in the past, using remote, for companies. But clearly, some people are saying that that's dangerous. I mean, I wouldn't be too surprised, but you know, um, but I'm not a database expert, um, so yeah. Um, but we'll have to tackle that at another time. Then we'll have to come back to this and just kind of focus on handling um, the PHP my admin tomorrow. So um, you know, so for those of you that are watching, maybe you were kind of face palming a lot, you know, I just just bear in mind, I don't do this on a regular basis. Okay, I'm still, there's some things that I never learned back in college. Okay, never took a networking class, never took a database class. So, there's some things that I'm not, super well versed in. Okay. Um, so I'm gonna struggle. Okay. Um, so for those of you that are, probably face palming or something like that, just know like, hey, I'm by myself. I have no mentor to try to tackle this. This is my own effort trying to do this. So you're gonna have to cut me some slack on this. All right. Hopefully you do. Um, so um, so we're just gonna move forward. Okay. My efforts to, thinking that I should be able to have access to the database, using SQL Developer clearly um, isn't possible. Okay. Or at least if it is, like Bluehost isn't necessarily, you know, telling me exactly how to go about doing it, and even then, they might not allow for that to begin with. So, um, so okay, you know, um, I'm just going to move forward on it. We're just going to go. We're going to go into the PHP my admin and just try to work on, building up the two sections of the givers and the receivers and see what I can do about that. How I'm going to be able to do that, again, I don't know. I'm not a database expert, um, so I'm going to be a little concerned about um, how to organize, the tables appropriately. So we'll have to see about doing that. Um, but that's going to be it for tonight on this portion. We're going to go on to the conceptus. I want to thank everybody for watching. Check out the rest of the playlists that I have on the YouTube channel. Like and subscribe would be fantastic. Um, Stay tuned as I continue to struggle through this. And if you want to provide, some input that might be helpful for others, feel free to do so. Like, there's some information that, like, maybe I don't really know. Okay. But I might find out about it later. Again, I don't really know. But you know, please be um, what's the word that I'm looking for? um, I don't mind constructive criticism as long as it's constructive and it is, um, you're coming at it from a viewpoint of willing to help out, not to chastise. If I guess if that's like the right kind of wording, you know, like I don't mind comments when they want to help me, learn or help someone else want to learn. If you're like coming in and saying, "My God, this is the worst thing ever," don't need those. But not that I can really stop people from saying that, but um, but yeah. Um, there and that is, you know, that kind of place sometimes. So, um, but I welcome anybody that is willing to help out. Again, you know, I, seeing that I'm kind of behind uploading right at this moment in time, videos are probably going to be out, you know, like I'm probably going to be a couple months in advance um, in terms of development. So obviously, best resources to just catch me live stream. Um, but um, but yeah, that's going to be it. So thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it. Hopefully catch you next time. But until then, take care. Have a good night. Stay healthy. Stay safe. And I'll catch you strangers next time.